Alright, looks like we're good. Hey, everybody. Oh, excuse me. Let's... I have to redo all this geo later anyways, but I'm moving stuff around, so I'm seeing texture issues. Let's fix that. So, I finished up in Wyrmsbane over the weekend. I'll show off some of that new stuff in a bit. And then I've started to, earlier today, play around with this area that was quickly blocked in and was left in a very rough state. So there's still, like, you know, just cubes sitting around in spots because they're just not, there's like nothing in them. They're not defined. And then the streets were kind of oddly laid out in places. So I've started cleaning that up a little bit. Particularly with the idea of new players entering from over here and just overall navigation. So added in a couple more more signs with you know, different districts and stuff on there, and opened this up so you can kind of see this street. Eventually there'll be textures and stuff that help guide you as well. But before, if you guys remember, you actually came to about here, and this street went like this. So it was a backtrack and then a cut, which was a little bit less intuitive. And this was blocked off. So now you can come straight up from the docks, or you can come over here. So just kind of getting the flow a little bit better. I think I want to keep with this being a courtyard type feel, so I might play around with this wall a bit and maybe make it an like a little archway in a wall or something like that. And then I think I'm gonna keep this as a back alley, as opposed to this originally kind of got you into this courtyard area, but I switched this building from over here to block that off. So today will probably be a little bit of this, and a little bit of the spire over there. But I do want to kind of get the streets kind of cleaned up. I think I'm going to put like an awning over here. It's eventually I'm going to get this cleaned up and right over here, and then I think I'm going to go to Spellbinders and work on finishing it up. Hey, Essender, how's it going? So let's see how. Oops. Get that off. Yeah, and I think like I said, I think I'm gonna do some kind of archway here. Now the question is, how do I want to do this? Eventually there's gonna be some stairs or a ramp or something over there as well. I think stairs. So let's grab a new. Using those. I will just use a box. Actually, let's try it with just using this. Do a thickness of at least a foot. But it just and 6. Oops. 2. Going well. Another snow day today. Lots of shoveling and gaming. I'm happy. Nice. Actually, we had a couple days of snow myself. Nothing too bad. But it's actually really beautiful out my window. But just enough to make it look pretty, but not a pain in the ass to drive in here, which is nice. Definitely appreciate it when it's not like, it doesn't feel like I'm driving down a bowling, like a bumper bowling, or a bumper bowling lane, because I've definitely been in those situations too. Thanks for sharing your time. Oh, of course. Probably should have finished reading the the message when I was starting, but no, it's always fun hanging out with everybody. All right, we'll set this as our pivot. Helps if I go back to no. Set pivot. Oh, you know what? It helps if I actually am moving from the pivot. That's actually not a terrible guesstimate on my part. Let's see if we can. Get those to line up. Nope. Here. Like so. And the ground here isn't level, so we'll bring the base of this down so that it's not floating. Okay, that's cool. So this will eventually probably have like an awning or something. These buildings will be refined more. This might actually be narrowed a little bit. And then I kind of want to do something over here. Can I get rid of this building? Yes. $90 on that. Yeah, let's narrow this just a pinch. Don't know if this house is going to work here. I do want to be able to kind of get into this little courtyard space. So I may have to sacrifice this small little house, which is currently like embedded in the ground, but I'll fix it if I can find a good orientation. But I don't think... Actually, hold on. Music a little loud in my ears. The street itself will probably be leveled out a little bit better, but yeah, I can do a whatchamacallit over here, another little like gate. Keep forgetting to attach this. Literally, I say this to myself like every time I'm here and I'm moving this thing around. I'm like, I should really just attach the stairs. Oops. There we go. Now they'll move as one. And if I'm doing that, I probably should fix this. Alright, so let's do that. And then... oh good, I still have that underneath. That'll make this a little easier. So it's deleted already. Oops. Sorry, I hit the wrong hotkey. So yeah, cleans up that, and then gives a little bit more space back here. I could also do the entrance on that side. I don't know. My biggest issue with these buildings is scale. So I eventually am planning... Hold on, am I local? No, I'm not. I'm eventually planning... Excuse me. I've been talking all day and haven't had congestion, and all of a sudden I start streaming and it starts happening. Anyways, I'm planning on building a point of view that as you walk this way and see the sign, you should see it right here. So it'll be a wall. I may have to readjust the building, so it actually might be more here as opposed to here. But it's gonna be kind of an arch, like gateway. And then it's gonna have some sort of like maybe floating crystal or something like that above it that, you know, has a color that'll draw your eye. So it'll be kind of silhouetted. So if I can't do a lot of multi-story structures there, or I'm going to lose that effect. May even have to adjust that. May have to cut down this tree. Slide that one. That might be good enough. I'll play with it more once I have the actual object there, but this should work better now. Let's duplicate this. And we will also bring these back. Question is, do I want it to be towards the back of this? Like it's not too bad. Again, I'm just really roughing this in, just because I want to get the flow a little bit better. Want to finish up Spellbinders, and then I'll come right back to this. But I have a feeling I won't finish Spellbinders today on stream. Getting close, but it still has some more stuff I need to do. Cool. So this will have to keep, like, these essentially ought to be single story structures. Does this one? Okay, this one already has a ramp up inside, so I don't have to worry about that. Let's adjust this now. Cool. Yeah, I think this is good for now. It at least has the flow. Eventually, I'll get the streets laid out nicer so I can throw a material. Actually, I could probably throw a material on that right now. It won't look perfect, but... let's... make that world position. And let me save real quick, just so I don't crash this on myself. The scene's gotten pretty big. It takes a little bit to save. All right, we'll select that material and we'll group them all together. There we go. That gets rid of the seam that was right there. And then I will real quickly, again, this isn't going to look super pretty right now, but it'll at least illustrate what's going on. Yeah, this whole part needs to be like completely laid out differently. Yeah, I'll have to fix that later. All right, we'll do that later. Let's fly over to Sagesyde. And I was working on this spire. So I don't know how much of this I've actually shown on stream. So I know I've shown like the teleport pads and stuff to move you around. I did do the library inside, so there's now a library in here. And then there's a room across the hall, which I don't know what we want to use it for, but it's there. Actually, you know what? Let's make it a little bit taller. It's a larger room. And then we've got kind of like the main hall, the barracks area, and then this area goes to the wall. This area goes up to the battlements and where the training yard will be. I should probably prop that out real quickly. Let's grab some placeholder props. And let's drag these into the proper scene. So they should be in garrison. And they are. close up all these other scenes that aren't needed because it's gonna take a second to drag these all the way down. I need to get some of these other objects into a scene, into like an empty parent so they can be collapsed down more easily. There's a lot of cubes and then a lot of crates. Most of that's all in the garrison dock area. Or the bunks are in the barracks. Super exciting watching all these words spam by in my hierarchy. Man, I really need to put those all in a parent. So I've hand placed over 700 now boxes, like our crates in the garrison. Looks like we're gonna make 800. The funny thing is, it still feels empty in some of those areas, so that it's gonna be a lot more crates. We're already up to 1,000 almost. All right, Sagesyde Spellbinders Spire. There we go. Okay. So I feel like they're gonna do an archery. Or for spell practice. Maybe, yeah, I guess 2 will be fine here. Inquisitor and Spellblades, I don't think rely too much on their archery skills. So them having only a couple seems fine. I'll put some of these placeholder target dummies. Areas, maybe up on top. Feels more like a training area. Maybe there's some over here too. All right. Looks good. And then, yeah, to get up here... Where is it? I have this walkway. Although I think I'm going to remove it and put it somewhere and get another way up here. Because this doesn't really make sense. Like, if you're thinking of this as a fortification, that your wall, you can't actually, like, go here and look over and shoot down and all that. So I might fix that to make a little bit more sense. But then I started building this up here. I think, though, now that I've taken some more time to think about it, I think I want to extend this out and continue to wrap this around up to here. And then maybe do a portal. Like, you walk in here and it portals you up top to, like, an observation area. So I think that's what I want to do with this spot. Which, did I can't remember if I did. What? I think I moved that as far as I actually need to move that. So let's collapse these down too, because they're going to need it. The edge loops and stuff here are all kinds of messed up, so just be aware that that will change. I just delete those, they're just going to cause me problems. So let's I can't remember why. Hold on, why isn't this square? That's better. So these need to be moved just a pinch more. There we go. All right. So what I think I'm going to do is duplicate this. Oops, hit the wrong button. So let's see where this gets us. In terms of height, this is probably, yeah, this is too short. We will do this to get the heights correct. Oh, shoot. Why is... Yep. Yes, YouTube, I'm still listening. All right, so let's merge all these stairs into excuse me, into one group. Where's my split right there? Let's merge those. Okay. So I need to build this up better. And I also need to add in another one of these. Oops. spaced differently, but that'll be fine. Come on. All right, looks good. All right, so how do I want to do this? Let's close this giant hole that I created. Hey Chaz, how's it going? So I think try duplicating this. Easier than expected. Detach. Cool. Great, painting is done. Nice. Is the office all set up then, or did you just finish the painting part? Either way, I'm sure that is a relief to be done with that step of the process. Nearly trying to find new desk. Everything else is finished. Nice. Are you looking for anything specific, like a corner desk, standing desk, or just kind of looking around until you find the one that just feels right? Is that? Hold on a second. I made this side too wide. Which means this needs to get pushed. There. I'm gonna duplicate this because I have a feeling this one will be better for the next part. Oops. Just looking around. The ones I like are all too expensive. Yeah, I know that feeling. Ooh, this one's awesome. Oh, that price is not awesome. I did the same thing with this chair that I had. My last chair, my friend had given me like an old one from her work, and it's not. It eventually, I think during 2020, tried to kill me. I sat down in it, and the whole chair like snapped in half. So I looked for this one, and then I opted to go cheap, and I'm starting to regret going cheap on it, because the cushion has definitely seen better days. What am I up to tonight? So I need to show everybody around and some of the stuff that I was doing. So right now I am working on the Spire portion of Spellbinders Spire. So I'm just building this stairwell around it. I had started it, and I was initially thinking about it going to an interior stairwell, but I'm like, I might as well use the exterior all the way up. One, it kind of creates this cool spiral around it. And then I can use that as an interior room. And then I think once you get up here, there's going to be like an archway inside that'll have a teleport pad that'll put you up on top, which will be like an observation area. Kind of like this, but I need to eventually finish off the top of that, but... so I did that, and then at the start of the stream, I was finishing up something I'd been working on a little bit earlier today. Still need a little bit of work in here. This is probably a little too wide. But I cleaned up the flow of the streets a little bit. So, like, as you're running in, this just kind of flows better. And then you can flow up through here, as opposed to before this street kind of went like that. So if you wanted to find the street to go towards Sagesyde and the Necropolis, you actually had to, like, walk past and then kind of, like, make a back cut and then cut back. So I'm just kind of cleaning up the flow, making it feel a little bit more natural, and then making these smaller little areas. This one probably is going to get played with more. But I was doing that. And then over the weekend, I did a bunch more stuff actually I can show you guys that now. In Wyrmsbane. I finished up the work in there for now. So let's zone in to Wyrmsbane. Someone's doing some dusting before my stream, and I think it's starting to trigger my allergies. But get this. Cool. Let me turn off aggro. Spell or type. So you guys have seen this area, this room I was working on last week. And Nick, I think actually we were talking about it on one of my streams, had wanted this area to expand. We hadn't. Oh, it looks like he's already done maybe some population work. There's a name that used to spawn here, but he was saying he wanted it to support more mobs, just so it's more of a camp. So I created this little space over the weekend. So you've got this room, has some spot for some mobs, kind of spirals down into here. Then you can walk down this way, and then I did I did a full lighting pass and optimization pass on that lighting. into this kind of larger room with another one of those bridges, keeping that kind of theme for this specific area. And I kind of brought the oops, I forgot to throw the textures on those. I'll have to do that one. Did I? Yeah, I forgot to do it on this one. So I kept these ceiling I don't know what you would want to call them, kind of like trims, I guess, along the ceiling, just to kind of keep it thematically the same kind of architecture. And then you can loop up through this way. Some mobs to cross that bridge, and I have a feeling there's a named. Yep, the named has been moved up here already. So this is his placeholder. Let's see if I get the named. Oh. Yep, there he is. So you walk in and there's the named, and he shouldn't aggro down here, I don't think. Yeah, he won't aggro until... You gonna aggro, buddy? Weird. I wonder if it's because I respawned. Kill him off. But yeah, so I can imagine him up here with a couple of his guards. But it's now more of a little bit of a dungeon crawl to get up to him. Or a long pull, which actually, hold on. I haven't tested this because there wasn't there wasn't a mob up here before. Oh, he's aggro. Weird. Let's try this again. Okay, so yeah, the skeleton archer can aggro if you're stepping far enough back. But let me bring him back up. Maybe something weird happened to his faction. Of course, I'm just not going to get him to respawn. Oh my goodness. There he is. Yeah, something must be weird with his faction. Let me make a note in bug testing. So let's try stuff. He should drop down, which is fine, and let's see how he handles this. Cool. Because I haven't tested the pathing around here, but let's do some path testing. He should be fine on those. Hop off this side. Cool. And then I'm going to test over in this room too. Jumped right down that, which is good. followed me up. And I'm assuming he should, no problem, follow me off of this edge. He's been doing it good. Yep, awesome. Let's see. Looks good. Looks good. Our dungeon's going to be sprawling and non-linear, similar to EQ. Yep, it's working as expected. Yeah, so they're definitely going to be sprawling. They're not going to be, you know, linear dungeon crawl mission based. Now you might come in, you know, wanting to get to a certain area, and depending on your, you know, your ability to invis or stuff like that, you may end up having to kill your way in further. Yeah, let me just turn off aggro. My skills, I don't think, are trained all the way, so my guy's killing pretty slow. But yeah, if you wanted to get down into the lower areas here, you know, there's a bit of a journey to get down here. But it's not specifically like, you know, a modern dungeon where you, as you go through, you know, stuff's not respawning and you're clearing it out. It's a, you know, a contested, open, sprawling dungeon. There was also another bug that I fixed. I had forgotten to bake this head into the nav mesh, so players were able to jump from over here and, you know, jump up to here, and they'd run up to here, and they wouldn't follow you. Oh, you know what? It helps if I have aggro on. But now they should follow me up there. So, that was a geo exploit we found on our test server. Most dungeons in WoW were really boring. To me, they were basically loot hallways. That's actually a really good way to describe them. Yeah, you lose something when you're constantly moving. I mean, it does keep you actively playing, but I don't know. I'm a fan of the whole eat a sandwich and play the game mentality, which doesn't always work for rangers when we have to pull, because that is one of the more active roles. If you are actually, you know, trying to be good at pulling and pulling stuff at a quick pace. But yeah, so the dungeon design is definitely more old school EverQuest than WoW dungeon crawl. Ella, fixing that one already? Oh yeah, it's already fixed. It hasn't been pushed to test, so people can still cheese the boss currently, but well, next time we push, you can't. But here, I'll hop into the actual scene so you can see how it currently is. It's not 100% finished. I'm done with it for now until we actually do a population and kind of theming out past of the cavern areas. So this area hasn't been... The cavern hasn't been kind of themed out, so it's super basic, and the sewer area hasn't been hooked up to it yet. But the tomb area has been, you know, thoroughly kind of expanded upon. It's grown a decent amount. This was originally supposed to be a small dungeon. It's a pretty large dungeon at this point. I'd probably say it's more on a medium size in terms of how big it is. Maybe medium small. Definitely can get bigger. But there is a lot going on in here now for what was initially, you know, a very small dungeon that was only supposed to support from like levels 1 to 5. I think we can support into the mid-teens currently. So there's all sorts of different little areas, you know, that are all kind of like themed out a little bit. but it's all part of this massive tomb complex. And the textures and stuff are all placeholder for now. But even with the placeholder textures, and you know, these skulls are all literally just the same one, copy and pasted. These would be more designed out. But they're already starting to, you know, give a pretty cool feel when you're in it. Pardon the flickering. That it's going to do that because some of these things have shadows enabled in the editor. But yeah, so I did all that, got this all working, and then did an initial light pass and optimized it. So there's all these different, if you guys watched my stream last week, or go back and watch them. Oh, you know what? I did not post, I had to post my ones from last week, but last week I did a bunch of these lighting groups. So, like, oh, you know what? I can't see them because I just disabled them. Like, why aren't they showing up? So I just turned them off. But yeah, I went through and did a pass on these, and then I had to edit some of the ones that I had done on stream over here specifically, because when I did them, there wasn't geo here, and I had to like tighten up this room and this hallway so it wasn't overlapping. And this room in particular was a little bit, I originally had more, I still have these kind of fill lights here just to get a little bit of light on these. But there was originally more of the torches, but I was running into hitting max shadows when I had this and this room visible at the same time, which then bugged out all of the shadows in the entire zone. So I sacrificed those 4 to have a nicer overall experience. I guess I could bring those 4 back and then put these 4 on their own. No, because I'd still, if I run into here, these turned on, these would still be... I'd have to break this room into 2 groups and this room into 2 groups. So I guess I could do it now that I'm actually thinking about it, but it works for now. Let's go back to Night Harbor. Very nice. Those poor souls who went to, to draw their own map. Who want to draw their own maps. Yeah, there's definitely, especially in Night Harbor, there's going to be lots of changes. The changes in Wyrmsbane have only ever been additions. Where the changes in here are straight up moving stuff around. Which is part of the reason why I haven't done a full lighting pass, because as I'm moving stuff around, lights are going to get lost and moved everywhere until everything's kind of locked in. Let's see. Was I doing? Oh yeah, subscene loader. You say high teens? Yeah, I think Fiona's room can get you into high teens, similar to Crushbone. Honestly, because you could get into the high teens in Crushbone if you know, were fighting Crush and Divin in the throne room. But you would noticeably after a while see XP slow down, but it would be you physically could do it. So I'd use Crushbone as a comparison XP wise, because you could do the entrance of Crushbone at like level 3. You just had to run the gauntlet to get there. Oh, sorry, my neck is, that was kind of gross, but my neck is killing me. It does. It does feel a little bit Blackburrow, a little bit Befallen. I think once the cave area is brought in, it might feel a little bit, again, more Blackburrow with maybe a pinch of Guck. But not too much. It's got a little bit of underwater parts to it. But it's been nice seeing everybody on the friends and family servers running around. And overall, the feedback's been fairly positive from everything I've seen. Need to go to like a chiropractor. My back is a mess. Oof. Let's see. Really love what I'm seeing so far. Been binging the YouTube videos lately. You guys are doing amazing work. Well, thank you. Thank you. We appreciate it. We appreciate the support, and glad you're enjoying the content. Are all of the lights dynamic lights, or are they pre-baked? So they are all dynamic lighting, which are triggered. So if a couple minutes ago when I was showing those boxes those green boxes that were floating around, essentially we have them so like when you walk into them, it'll turn them on. When you walk out of them, it'll turn them off. Which, definitely helps with the rendering cost, because it is expensive to have all the meshes on and casting shadows and all that. So that lets us get the lighting better, and then there's a bunch of fill lights and stuff in there as well. But the shadows are definitely the heavy hitters in terms of performance. It does make me wish we were using Unreal with Lumen, but because it's just easier to set up, and it looks so pretty. But the system that John set up in there, once I figured out how it works, is actually pretty straightforward, pretty easy to set up. So it'll be interesting when we end up getting to around. Oop, did I just noticed I completely forgot to do that? When we start doing full lighting passes, it'll be interesting. We were using light calling groups, but I didn't write the script, and I don't know how it works. And C# is not my forte. Again, Unreal, I'm more of a blueprints make sense to me. I just don't know the syntax and stuff for C#. But our light calling groups were definitely causing issues, because it enables shadows, and some of the stuff we didn't want shadows on, or we wanted shadows on, but the second you'd get, like, if my hand is the light and my other hand's the cone of view, let me see if I can get this into the camera, and I look this way and it's off screen, it would cut shadows even though I was standing right next to the light, which isn't ideal when you walk past a wall with a light on it and you want that wall's shadow to be in front of you. So I'm sure we'll be able to refine that in the future, but just for right now, everything's called manually. So the city itself will be interesting on how we achieve that when we get to the full lighting pass of the city. Right now, it's just a bunch of fill lights that don't have, or a bunch of lighting that doesn't have shadows. Rendering at the moment. Okay, let's. Let's see. Maybe a bit of Nijena. Is that, I never was good at pronouncing that one. Is it Nijena? Nijena? In there too. I actually was not looking at that one or thinking about it when I was building. There definitely was a little bit of Befallen and Guck influence to it in parts. Although the Guck, I think, is rather limited in that one. Like I said, I didn't really lean too hard into that when I was kind of thinking through. Yeah, I saw a ton of lights down there. Figured you needed some kind of system for dealing with the performance. Yeah, it was really bad when I first put all the lighting in there. It was definitely not performant, to say the least. And then John did it the first optimization pass, and then I just kind of continued it. That's what I get for highlighting and not paying attention when I highlighted. It deleted like half of this mesh that I just fixed. Oh, at least there's enough here to actually like stitch back together. Gotta love Pro Builder. I think it's Naina. Which doesn't make sense at all. Zukin. Hey, Zukin. Oh, hey, Paytas. Can you add in the horses when you get a chance? I failed to push it correctly. Oh, yeah, I forgot. We talked about that, and I keep forgetting to actually put those in. Yeah, I can do that in a little bit. Give me a second to finish fixing my giant hole that I just created. Alright, that is, these meshes need to be joined. Okay, let's do that. And Aragon, thank you for... Oh, am I reading that correctly? 12 months! How has it already been a year? Wow, that's crazy. Appreciate it. Definitely appreciate it. Man, 12 months. That's crazy. I think you're the first to hit 12 months. That's crazy. Let's see. Yeah, same. And then I was I was talking to someone else who's been a lure freak for EverQuest for 20 plus years. And after 30 minutes of discussion, they convinced me it's Naina. I legit have no idea. Whether it's EverQuest or any game, especially our game, never go by how I pronounce things. That's rule number 1 with this stream. Never take what Paytas says as gold when it comes to pronunciation or reading anything. What was I doing? Horses. Horse. Did you have a prefab, or is it just the mesh? Let's see, mesh. Horse body. You'll want the prefab. It had the body and the tail in it. I don't see a prefab. I just see shiny horse, white wireframe horse, and tail. Did you not push the prefab? Yeah, weird. It looks like you didn't push the prefab. Maybe not. I could create one real quick. Unless you named it something different. Should just be horse. Yeah, it looks like it didn't push. Or if it did, I don't have it. It's with the other creature. So yeah, we can just look at the creature. Prefabs. Models. Prefabs. Race models. Yeah, it didn't get pushed. Yeah, Shadowman, Human Robe, Skeleton. I'm not sure. Do you want me to create another one and just throw the horse stuff in there? You'll remedy that? Okay, let me know when you push it and I'll do a pull. Let me see if I have anything going on. Oh, I do have. Hold on. I'm pulling, so I can't do anything in Unity while it's pulling. That was not from Yuzukin, that was from Gary. There isn't anything fancy about it? Okay, I could just make one. And there's no texture yet, correct? Horse. Yeah, I don't think, or I don't even have a proper texture. Yeah, just wanted to put it in there for scale stuff. Okay, so let's horse it up, and we'll drag. Oh, right, that's at 0, 0, 0. We'll drag this guy in, and we'll give him a tail. And then we will pop back into the scene. And we'll drag this into the world. Do you name... Hold on, I can't remember. Do we have prefab on the race prefabs? Or is it just the name of them? I want to keep it consistent. Okay, it's just the names, so we're good. Let's go back. Horse. Why can't I edit the material? Well, I guess he's going to be a glossy horse. Shiny Stallion. That needs to be a name of a mob now. The Shiny Stallion. Oops, helps if I can... And let's... That horse is flying, so I bet you some of these are still flying. This guy's... loading. Oh, that was not... Well, let's lay him down. He's taking a nap. And I really should have done this before I did all of that. Make sure I got them all. What's this guy? Let's drop him into here. And we'll give an empty group. And we'll call this Temp Horses. Cool. And save. No problem, man. Apologies. I know I said I was going to do that earlier and I kept forgetting. Ah! Helps if I hit the right hotkey. Alright. Now I need to link all these things up. Oops, helps if I'm at the right snapping. Let's not do a marquee selection, because that is just going to delete giant portions of the mesh I don't want to delete. Let's see. Unfortunately, I gotta run. You guys have a great evening. You too, Chess! Oh, man. I feel like my skin's breaking out. I knew it was gonna happen, too. He was dusting, he walks up, he's like, look how dusty it is! I'm like, no, get that away from me! I'm like, I gotta go on stream in, like, 40 minutes. Hey, Alarm. Alarm. I could move my mouth and get words to actually come out. How are you doing tonight? Actually, I probably should do it this way. Move this. Well, I guess I could do it there, because that doesn't have an edge. That's not going to cause an issue. Sweet. Okay, so now I need to stitch all of this stuff together, but I do need to give myself one more edge loop right here. Good. I've had days like that. Yeah. Me too. Alright. Let's get these in line. My gosh, come on. Let's just make my life easier and do it that way. Okay, so let's start stitching this stuff together, and then we can build the rest of the base of this building. And then probably chop off parts of what's already here. Helps if my Pro Builder stuff is open. And we'll merge those together. Ah! Let's not do that. I see a horse on my end in the prefabs, which is odd. It's not new, and I assume you've pulled... Yeah, I pulled before, and before the stream, and I pulled, like, just before I started dropping the horses. Assuming you've pulled at least once in the last month. I guess if you run into any errors, it will just override. I wonder if, and it's not showing up in your changelog that you have that in the game, or you have that in your version of the game. Like the ones in stable? Yeah. I'm wondering why it wouldn't be. I wonder why it wouldn't have pushed. If you're not seeing it listed in like your change logs in GitHub, because initially I was like, oh, maybe it wasn't in the asset. What's the name of that file? Asset something or other. But that would just be if you made it addressable. I think that's all that does, is lists all the stuff that have been made addressable. But even with that, the prefab should show up. I wonder why. I'm really confused why that didn't push. Or why I don't have it. If it did push. Why I don't see it. Okay. So this has to move back. Ah! Which means this could probably just go bye-bye. Oop, you know, I'm not going to do it that way, because then I'm going to put a hole somewhere, and I'm going to find it later, and it's going to drive me crazy. Let me push this just to see. Okay, check that. Let's see. I still only see the one horse, unless you added another one. Or maybe it just overrode. Oh, horse body. No? I bet you just overrode the one that I have, because it's named... It looks like it's named the same. When I'm looking in the changelog. Prefab race models horse... .prefab, which is the same thing I named this. So I have a feeling it was like, oh, you have that. I didn't change the name, but I set it to addressable. It is not set to addressable here. Weird. Hold on. Asset addressable list. Oh yeah, you did push the asset addressable list. But yeah, he did not flag it as addressable. Oops. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. That is weird. Yeah, just use that version. You'll have to see it, if you can see them when I end up pushing. If you actually can see them show up in your version. Shoot, now that I'm adding this is really small. I'm glad I wasn't planning on doing much of an interior on that. There's not a whole lot of room. Oops. And then I did it anyways. Oh well. I'll just close it this way. Why is this... What is going on? Something got funky somewhere, but whatever. Delete those two. Well, yes, me highlighting this, I totally want to delete all of that. Oop, nope. Don't want to delete all that. I do want to delete these, though. So we'll delete those for now. Let's see. Maybe throw a pixel axe in the horse prefab, so when you push, it looks different. I could do something like that. Hey John, how's it going? It is going well here. Okay. So now I can delete the rest of this. So those are definitely not going to be seen. And we will join these pieces up. Uh-oh. Don't crash. Hey, MCP. How are you doing tonight? Man, it's already 10 almost. Tonight's stream flew by. All right. We're getting there. We are getting there. That is for sure. Didn't get quite as far as I wanted to today, but I'm just going to do a sloppy closing up of this for now. And then I need to clean this top portion's edge flow up at some point. But I think I want to figure out where this ramp is going to be coming from. I might have it come off the back here and then pop up along this wall. It just makes more sense because you'd want, on an actual defense, you'd actually want that area to be actually be able to be manned and not a thin wall that could get knocked over. So I think I'll have it running down here. So I might play around with that tomorrow when I get a chance. Let's clean up the edges on these. Even though I guarantee you all of these edges, even though I'm cleaning them up here, are going to break in the build. Because Pro Builder is weird like that. Cool. That's kind of the feeling I was going for. Obviously, that there's gonna be some more ramparts and stuff on top, but I wanted the spire to almost feel kind of like a Crusader's fortress on a rocky cliffside, which I feel like that's kind of giving that feel to me. Now, getting the tower part to work. Now, if I want to I could sacrifice being able to walk all the way around it and put it like, oops. Put it like that to give more room up there. And potentially I could even make this a little bit wider now too. So it's not so so small. Oop. Camera started freaking out there for a second. Maybe. Maybe something more like that. Yeah, I actually kind of like that. And then it's got a little bit more space up here to walk around. Let's, at least for now, because I'm not going to finish this, but I don't want to, when I push it, I don't want it to have a giant hole. So let's do that. Let's make this a little bit larger. So 4 and 4. Yeah, that should feel better. So basically you'd walk, there'll be like a doorway here, you walk in, and then it would port you up to here. Now what the top of it looks like, I need to figure out. I think more square. I don't know. Maybe more geometric than this one. Hopping on a stationary bike. Only 7 here. Nice. I wish I had a stationary bike. Although I don't think I have room for any extra stuff like that in my apartment. It's already pretty crowded. Hold on. Weird. Let's see. Progress is progress, definitely. I feel like if you can teleport up, it kind of breaks the immersion of it being a fortress. Unless there's some kind of way to turn off the teleport. So that was more of a design to facilitate the new, like newbies getting up and down. We had talked about the potential that all of these teleporters in Sagesyde are faction based. So we don't have the functionality yet, but essentially, we had talked about like if you were, you know, trying to port up here and you're not friendly with these guys, you know, you'd step on the portal and then it would like, you know, drop you from like right here or something like that, as opposed to putting you right here where you're supposed to land. So there'd be like a faction-based check that would kill you, but it would be like the magic itself knows that you're not supposed to be there, so it throws you into some other area. I don't know if they would do that for over here. Maybe it's if your faction isn't good with these guys, this just doesn't work. That could also potentially do that. Launches you into the dunes. It's just like a cannon. You just go flying over the city. That'd be funny the first time that happened to anybody when they had no idea, and they're just like, ah! Except, obviously, you're going to see, like, LOD type stuff. Moving at that kind of speed. Literally a catapult pad. Let's see. It's an internal teleporter. You're not teleporting from outside to the inside. The fortress still blocks out the invasion. It's a nice mix of magic and medieval to me. Or right, it's a faction, perhaps only. Yeah, I can see it either way, and it doesn't get you in, but it does get you up onto the battlements. So there is that, and I already, you know, was thinking about that too. But again, it was more of a like, this is the training yard, and I figured you'd probably have to go down and fight. I don't know what I haven't done the Inquisitor or Spellbind quest lines. I think they were still being written when I did that part, but the teleport down would essentially just get you down into this area faster. Or it could be maybe the teleport pad is keyed and you have to obtain a badge or something from the Spellblades trainer or the Inquisitor trainer to actually be able to use these. So, you know, you get like an insignia to the Spellbinders Spire. So that is what it checks against. So there's all sorts of different ways we can limit that to make it, you know, make it feel better, make it make more sense, that type of thing. Oh. Literally, I can't. Trust me. I like the convenience of gameplay. It just doesn't seem plausible to have magic be that powerful. Why even have walls if you can just kill someone arbitrarily for crossing the boundaries? Well, I mean, it's essentially like a G-Flux spell. It just G-Fluxes you way, way up high, and drops you. Keyed makes more sense. Yeah, I think the keyed idea actually does make more sense. But the evil developer in me really likes the idea of it being a faction check that drops you to your death if you don't make it. We'll see where we fall on that, but it takes a lot of magic to maintain one teleport. So it's plausible to maintain an entire boundary line of them. Yeah, like the pineal skeleton key. Although you could pick that lock. I don't think you'd be able to pick a teleport pad. Is that not centered? It is not centered. I'll have to fix that. I'm not going to do that right now because I have to go into the database and change the the positions for that. Oof, that broke. Like, badly. Let's fix that. That looks gross. Did it break anywhere else? Oh, yeah. I'll just do this one just for the sake of it. Cool. So yeah, that looks good. And there's more people in here now, so I'll show this off. I showed it off earlier, but I did some more work in Wyrmsbane to kind of finish off what I was doing in there. And oops, what? Not Wyrmsbane. I want to go to Zone. I'm gonna run around. That'd be crazy if you could hack the teleport pad. I don't know, having a lockpickable would be cool still. Or have a guard there you could get a key from, just like the Pineo key. Yeah, that could be cool too, where like if you lockpicked the key, or you just flat out killed the guard, and they gave you the key. I don't think the teleporters have, like I said, I don't think they have the faction system set up yet, and I don't think they have a key system set up yet. I could be wrong, but I don't know how to add that functionality if it is in. So a couple things I fixed. Actually, why did I turn off aggro? Ah! I don't know why she's not aggroing now, too. So I fixed the geo hack that's being used in the test server, so now they follow you up here. And then Nick had requested a new area by Dario's spot in kind of the antechamber of the ossuary. Ossuary? God, I always want to put a T in ossuary. I don't know why. I do not know why. It every time I'm just like fighting that T. But so yeah, this is the area everyone is kind of familiar with, and there used to be a named right here, but Nick's already moved the named. But I added this whole little wing, kept to the antechamber feel. Here, and there's a little bit larger space for more mobs. So I kept the kind of treatment that I did to the ramp ceilings and stuff like that in the hallways that were already over there. And then you get into this larger room, which could obviously have some mobs walking around, like camped in the little holes. Could obviously have some pathing around in here too to make it more difficult. And then another room could probably have, 4 mobs or so in here. And then all the way up to the boss's room. Of course it's not going to bring him back up. There he is. So I'm imagining Nick will do a population pass, so he'll have some friends up here with him. But I was testing it out earlier, and he paths around in here fine. Oops. Oh, he doesn't path around in here fine when you don't have aggro, though. So yeah, I did this, and then I did the lighting pass, and then I optimized it so that, all the lights trigger on and off. Had I not done it, this whole area was like a really bad strobe light show. But so yeah, that's what I worked on over the weekend. Ooh, I apparently messed that up. So let's fix that real quick now that I see it. This would be a nice, easy, quick fix. Let's turn off the lights. And the new area. There it is. All fixed. Did I accidentally nudge any more of these? Okay, looks good. All right, so let's save. I'm gonna get caught up on chat. Maybe a failed lockpick on the teleporter gives you a bit of feedback, causing some damage. That could be something like that too. But I do like the idea of it being some kind of key item that the spell blades themselves and the Inquisitors give out. But yeah, so that was when I spent most of my weekend on, was getting this up and running. Surprisingly takes a lot longer when you're trying to get all of these little things laid in correctly, and the sizes are a little bit different in the rooms. But the dungeon is getting pretty big. And there might eventually be another section of it over here that hasn't been decided yet, but there's definitely a lot going on already. So I'm gonna wrap up here. It's a good size. Yeah, I like it. I honestly, it feels really, really tight as it is. It'll be interesting to see how it feels once we start kind of playing with this area. And if we want to expand into that other area or not. Will there be a lot more texture variety and unique texture? Oh yeah. Yeah. The textures are right now, placeholders for the most part. That's why you keep seeing the same textures over and over and over again. Eventually we'll be getting a full environment art texture pass so that there's more textures and more unique textures. The textures that are going to be in here may be shared with some other zones that are essentially built by the same I don't want to say the same people per se, but like the same group has built several areas throughout the game. So there may be shared textures and stuff, and architecture, and shape language and stuff like that between those, but it probably wouldn't be every single one. All right, guys, thank you for hanging out with me tonight. Here come the hiccups. It's the first time in a while. But anyways, thank you very much for hanging out with me tonight. Always appreciate everyone participating in live chat and stuff like that. And my chatbot is off. Yay! I hate when it does this. Hold on. They've changed up the layout for me. They used it to make me agree to terms. Okay, so let's try this again. There we go. So that, if you're new to the project, is our website. You can go on there and learn all about it. But essentially, we're creating a indie MMO RPG called Monsters and Memories. It is influenced by the classic kind of first generation of MMOs. So think your Asheron's Call, your EverQuest, your Ultima Online, your Dark Age of Camelot. That era in the late 90s, early 2000s is really what we're using as inspiration. If you have any questions, feel free to hop in our Discord, or if you'd just like to hop in our Discord and hang out, there's like 1,900 of you guys in there now, so it's a pretty decent sized community. There's always some kind of conversation going on. whether it's about our game, the genre in general, gaming in general, tabletop gaming. There's always something kind of fun going on. So we definitely love to have you guys join. All the devs are in there. We're usually pretty good at answering questions, so feel free to ask questions, and somebody will answer or tag the appropriate person to answer. If you'd like to stay up to date with the game's development but don't want to join Discord, that is our mailing list. It's a great way to stay up to date. If you are hoping to get in on our public tests, which we're hoping to get done by the end of this quarter, to kind of start stress testing some of our server tech, make sure you join both of those, so you know when that is. These are the other members of the team that stream, so if you haven't already, throw them a follow. We also have a YouTube, which I need to remember to upload last week's and this VOD. But all of our past VODs are on there. So you can kind of go through all of the development, that's been documented. Excuse me. If you are watching on YouTube, please remember to like and subscribe, comment below, click the bell, all that fun stuff. It helps us out with the algorithm. The more engagement we get, the more likely the algorithm is to push out M&M content to people that have similar interests in MMOs and things like that specifically. So taking a second or two to do that is a huge help. We really appreciate it, and thank you. If you are watching on YouTube and you'd like to participate in my live chats, there should be a link down below to my Twitch page, Patus the Ranger. Make sure you click on it, or click on the link, follow the channel, and then you'll get a notification whenever I go live. Also, you can opt in to streaming notifications on Discord, and then when any of the team members go live, you'll get a notification there as well. Besides that, my normal streaming times are Monday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. As always, thanks everybody for hanging out with me. Thank you especially to my sponsors. You guys rock. Your support is always appreciated. But other than that, guys, that's all I have for you, and I'll see you guys Wednesday. Take care and have a good night. Later.